Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. Any position works. You can be lying down, you can be sitting in a chair, doesn't matter. Just find something that's comfortable where you feel stable, your back is straight or upright, and you don't feel the need to shift around and move during the practice. We also keep our eyes open during this practice. This is not a closed eye meditation. Although if you have learned to practice with your eyes closed, it is totally fine. It's not really that important. Just do what works for you. But if your eyes are open, in which I encourage you to, go ahead and just drop your eyes down away from the screen and gently rest them below. It could be the floor, it could be a desk, it could be whatever it is that is just below you. We're not staring, looking at anything in particular, but we're also not blurry and buzzy. We just have a nice, light, clear gaze directed downwards. You're in a nice, comfortable seated position, and your eyes are open, directed gently down. Right here, this is where you are. Right here. Most of our lives, we spend it distracted from here. Distracted by the future, planning, worry, and the past, regret, our story, our path. But there is no path to now, because you are already here. So just be here and rest. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. There's no one to become. Let go of it all. Leave everything you think you know about meditation. Don't even call it that. Leave alone the idea of trying to become better, trying to get something. You are here. Full stop. But the reason we don't notice that we are here and we spend our day planning simply is because we pay too much attention to thinking. Thoughts plan, worry, make a story, wonder, contemplate, compare. But thoughts aren't yours. You don't create them. They happen all by themselves. In the same way that your heartbeat happens all by itself. So as we sit here, we're just going to leave it alone. Leave thinking alone. And we do this by bringing our attention to something that only happens here and now. And that, of course, is the breath in the lower belly. So bring your attention gently to the lower belly, below the belly button and above the groin. Just notice this area. Don't think about this area. Allow that to happen too. Let the conversation in your head go on and on by itself as much as it wants to. Just leave it alone and remain with the breath. Gently. And I'm probably catching you thinking again, being attached to the talk in your head. Let it continue. Let the words and the chatter within your skull keep going. Just return to the lower belly, rising and falling. Come back. Come back to breathing gently. And I'm probably catching you planning, thinking about a video you just saw. But remember, these aren't yours. They happen automatically. But instead of returning to the breath, move your attention towards the one that thoughts are talking to. What sees these thoughts? It takes no time. This isn't something to be thought about. What is it that hears thoughts, hears this voice? Who's the meditator? What is the meditator? In the same way you found the breath, find the one that sits here. Find the one that has a body. Is it real? Or is it simply a dream? What do you discover? What sits here? What hears this voice? If there's nothing to find, and thoughts don't understand, stay and completely rest. All right, you can look at the screen. I think we have another question today. All right. Hi, Nathan. Hello. The experience of meditating with open eyes has been a pleasant change after years with closed eyes. I still close my eyes sometimes, especially when I'm tired, I like the relaxation it brings. However, I feel the open eyes help bring more mindfulness to the life around the practice. It feels like there is no transitioning from life to meditation and back. It's just another thing I do in my day in life. Very good. Very good. I'm curious for your own journey with meditation, if you'd like to share. How/by whom were you taught? I find your approach refreshing. It feels new to me. Thank you for your very consistent effort in making videos, sending love. Thank you very much. A very kind message. First off, very good with the eyes open. Very good with the eyes open. That is exactly one of the wonderful things about practicing with your eyes open, because when you close your eyes during practice, not all the time, but it can create this kind of, I'm closing off from the world. I'm separating from everything else and I'm going inside and I'm doing my own little thing here. Then I go out into the world and it's all crazy and I gotta wait to get back to meditation where I can come back over here. No, meditation never ends. We blur the line between a formal practice and the rest of our life. All one big practice. Life is the practice. It is the koan. Very good. My own journey. Yeah. Well, there's a problem here. The problem is that when people hear about other people's journeys, other people's awakening experiences, other people's situation, they start to compare that to their own path. Either try to emulate that path, or they think that they're doing bad because it's not the same thing that's going on for you. And that's why I don't like to talk about my life and, personal things about me as much, because I don't want to distract you from the real practice. You should care about you and not me. What is this looking at the screen? That's what matters, really. So questions about where I live and the personal life and all this stuff, I'm just going to leave alone, because it's about you. It's not about me. But I'll entertain it for a little bit. My path. And there is no path. That's the other thing. There's no path. You're here now. This is it. Stay. So I will indulge. I grew up very religious, very Christian. Been Christian most of my life. Uh, I grew up in a family, like my mother was born in Africa, lived there till she was 18. My uncle was born in New Guinea, Papua New Guinea. And so I come from a line of very heavy Christians, missionaries, and all that. And by the age of 16, I didn't like it very much. I thought, I won't go through why. And I became a Rastafarian. I started listening. My parents actually gave me a Bob Marley CD. And I became a Rastafarian. I grew out dreadlocks naturally and was a very devout Rasta until I found Alan Watts and philosophy when I was in college. I realized that what I was believing was just beliefs, and I found meditation practice, something that isn't a belief, something that's just, okay, we'll just sit here and actually do a practice. So that was the first touch I found with practice, was with Alan Watts. And many years went by of practicing on my own, having really amazing experiences. I won't go into that. And so, but there was a point where I decided that I can't just figure this out through online videos and reading. But in hindsight, I know it's just because I wasn't practicing. I was more reading and listening and hearing and feeling good, but not serious practice. And so I decided I needed to meet a teacher. And there was a teacher that I found a long time ago. He had some weird video. Some cinematographer came and gave him made a video of a day in the life of his life. And it had no words, but it moved me. He was a Zen monk, but he was an American. Although he was basically Korean because he lived most of his life in Korea. And his name was Hyungak, or his name is still Hyungak Sunim. Yeah, he's very famous in Korea. In fact, so much so that he left Korea to move to Germany, and that's where his little humble practice is. So I decided around the age of 24 or so to move to Germany, and I did. And because I needed a teacher, direct teacher, I thought would be beneficial. And during my plans and figuring out moving to Germany, my dad committed suicide, which was a big reason for what I'm doing here, and really strengthened my practice. And so I moved, I think I moved about 8 months after my dad died, and practiced under Sunim. And he showed me actually how to practice, like real practice. And then COVID brought me back because COVID started during that time. And I moved back to the United States and started doing my own solo deep woods retreats, which was really the icing on the cake for everything. I did many, many solo retreats. I have a friend who is now a monk, but he and I would practice a lot together in the woods, and very deep meditation retreat practice. And I have a video on what that practice actually is. I think it's called Silence or something, my 3-day meditation retreat experience, if you want to know more about what that entails. Very intense, like 12 to 18 hours of practice a day. Anyway, that happened. I'm still in contact with my teacher, and I decided to start the Attentive Mind because I don't want, because of what happened to my father. I know that's happening to other people. There's a lot of suffering in the world, and I can just do my part to just get this basic practice out. Really, if everyone could just learn that you are not your thoughts, that's all you really need, but to really experience that. It changed my life, and I know it can change yours. So I hope that helps. But don't worry about my path. It's not going to help you. Don't worry about your path. You're always here. That's the important point here. Thank you all for showing up and listening. Thank you for showing up for your life. And as always, without exception, I'll see you tomorrow.